You're now listening to the Palmetto Dugout Show, hosted by State Director Sammy Esposito, Associate Scouts Drew Stewart and Sean Smith, that discuss all things related to amateur baseball in South Carolina. Here are your hosts.
Welcome into episode 57 of the Palmetto Dugout Show. I'm Drew Stewart here with Coach Espo, and we got Eddie T as well. What's going on, guys?
Coach, what's happening? We doing all right? How was the field trip today?
That's we were getting to that. You got to give me a minute now. we got to make sure you like and subscribe down below. And we'll get to what Coach just said here. Interesting fact of the day here. Austin Smith was seen in public for the first time in a while. He was helping the Youth of America, Coach.
You know, the positive is he's alive. You know,
we didn't know.
Outside of we don't know because we get these random texts with his pics. So, that could be coming from anybody, right? You know, maybe he was abducted. You never know what's going on out there. Maybe his wife had booted him out and just took over his phone. So the fact that you saw him with your own eyes and then also sent me a picture of him pulling a wagon out of the agricultural field trip today for you guys was obviously a positive.
I don't know how much he was actually helping the youth because the little girl he was pulling was screaming at him the whole time. So he wasn't a favorite.
I don't blame her one bit. You know what I mean? I don't blame her yelling one bit with her. So, but out and about, giving the kids what they want, not the people.
Not giving the people what they want, but giving the kids what they want.
That was that's an administrative role for him, right?
That's right. Moving on up,
big responsibilities for him.
Well, I mean, we'll stop right there. He's going to be listening to this on his drive to his elementary school in the morning because he's got such a long drive. So I'm sure he'll be tuned in. Obviously, Spotlight's hitting the social media waves, right, Coach?
Yeah, kind of going back, obviously, after our top prospect games, great event we have, kind of hitting back up, hitting a bunch of spotlights on those going on, Tuesdays during the week, beginning part of the week, doing an uncommitted senior spotlight, or if they've committed after the fact, we're still going to just do a senior spotlight on those guys, kind of give those guys some love and some things that stood out. And then on the back end of the week, we're doing an underclass spotlight with those guys. So, kind of getting those things cranked back up and kind of circling back to the big event that we had to finish out the summer.
Yeah, we got some big events coming up as well. Kind of start here with on October the 10th, we'll have the Pro Case at Lexington Stadium. We talked about it a little bit. Hopefully we see some new record breakers here in fourth annual.
Yeah, I was going through some stuff today, and I was kind of seeing some of those old numbers from last year and kind of looking at the roster of the guys that have signed up so far and some other guys that are going to sign up, but just trying to see what's who's going to be able to come out there and blow up some big numbers and maybe run a big 60 or big exit velo, whatever it is, or maybe we'll get a big number on the mound this year. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. Obviously, the running, the hitting is nice, but let's see a big bolt coming off the mound. That'd be fun to see.
Hey, you never know. That week before, we may make some picks on who's gonna have that top bolt and that top EV.
Coach, that might be the pick'em of the week. That might be the pick'em.
We're going to scratch college football that week.
That'll be the tiebreaker. I got the college pick'em.
Then you move to October the 15th, unsigned senior games at Francis Marion.
Yeah, getting a lot of great feedback on this, right? Like this is an event we haven't had, in a couple of years. And got a lot of feedback last year, something that we wanted, that the guys wanted, players wanted, and got a great venue down there in Francis Marion. I mean, some people go, it's a great Division II facility. I say it's a great college baseball facility, right? Eliminate Division I, Division II, whatever it is. It's top of line facility. So those guys open their doors to us, and we're excited to get in there and kind of give those seniors, those unsigned seniors, kind of a last crack at the end of the fall. And also not only at the end of the fall, but just to kind of give those college coaches going into the spring something that they can kind of look back on where this player was at the end of the fall. So big event, and kind of run it in conjunction a little bit with North Carolina, right? The following week, the 22nd will be up in North Carolina, but it's kind of given, where if you're in the upstate and it's a little bit easier to get to North Carolina, you can head off to theirs, or you're in the eastern part of the state of North Carolina, you want to come on down to Francis Marion, maybe hit up a Buc-ee's on the way over there. You can kind of be able to knock that one out. So we're trying to split it up a little bit and give both states a little bit easier access to where you live. But we're looking forward to that one.
I do not get the double XL brisket sandwich. That'll sit on you for a couple weeks.
Yeah, don't eat that and get out there and attempt to run the 60.
What is it? It's brisket on the board.
Brisket on the board.
When they go to chop it up.
I might test that theory out. Might go get that double XL and run that 60. I wonder if I can beat that time.
We'll have the world's slowest 60.
I don't know about that. I've seen some bad ones. And then we moved to next Thursday, Scout Day with USA Prime, supposed to be last week. But the Greenville Drive continued to win, so we had to push that another week.
Yeah, actually, we were supposed to be inputting a bunch of data from yesterday. So it was obviously a good reason for the Greenville Drive and for the area and for the community to continue to back that up a week. But right, that's always a fun one for us, right? And for the players under the lights of the Greenville Drive at a minor league park, and one of the better ones playing surface. So we'll have a blast setting up there with USA Prime. Those guys do a great job, and we've enjoyed watching them over the tournaments over the past summer and the fall, and then we look forward to seeing those guys on Thursday night up there in Greenville.
Yeah, always a good event. We'll see if PBRSC Air Force is in attendance.
Don't hit nobody now.
Not this time. We learned our lesson.
Maybe we won't lose it like that F-35 that disappeared in the middle of nowhere in South Carolina. Maybe we'll be able to keep track of the drone a little bit easier.
And Coach heads down to Flodar on Wednesday. Here's my biggest question, though. Do we produce a new TikTok from this event as we reach the 1-year anniversary of the Smelling Salt 60?
Coach, I will make that. That will be a part of my beginning speech to the guys, the beginning group, that we have to break our record TikTok set a year ago on the Smelling Salts and leave it up to some JUCO bandits, right? Somebody to come up with a little bit of action, a little something different. Those guys are awesome, right? Obviously, Florida Arlington Tech, one of the better junior colleges in the country, right? Always battling there to get to Grand Junction. So we're fired up to get out there, and not only those guys have great players, great coach staff, but they got some characters out there running around those bandits. So we're excited to get there.
591K is going to be a lot to beat, Coach. But you never know with those JUCO guys.
We'll make it happen. Don't worry about it. While you're in there teaching the youth of America, and I'm out there running around on Flodar's field, attempting to break records on TikToks. That's what we're going for.
That's our focus now. It's our focus.
Yeah.
Obviously, a big week ahead with 2 Scout Days. A lot of content going to be rolling out. That's our business side of the podcast. We got to give the people what they want here.
We got to give people what they want, but we also have. It's a good thing we got old Eddie T on here, because what do we got this weekend?
Yeah, Eddie T. What do we got?
Break it down real quick. What are we hosting?
So we're at Shipyard this weekend. We've got our underclass tournament at Shipyard this weekend. This will be our second one. We've got an upper class that went off a couple of weeks ago. We've got our underclass tournament going off this upcoming weekend. This past weekend, we were in Rock Hill, South Carolina. First ever time we were in Rock Hill. Had a really good turnout of some quality North Carolina, South Carolina teams at that event. So as usual, we're excited to get down there to Shipyard, watch some good baseball, eat some good concession stand food. Best concession stand food in the country, no doubt about it. We always seem to do a lot of eating while we're watching baseball down there, no doubt. So
they did last year, if I remember correctly, there, Coach Drewski, that I think that they were on the concession report for the top concession stand after being down there for the week of the preseason showdown. I mean, I know there were some battles in there, but when you get that brisket sandwich sitting on your belly in there in Game 4 of the day, that's when
start that earlier.
You really labor through the summer. That's where you really struggle. You get the meat sweats when it's 98 degrees and you're 2 brisket sandwiches in a quesadilla. You start to get some pretty bad meat sweats.
Don't forget the side of the tater tots as well when you're roaming out there. I mean, it's hard to beat those
tater tots. That's
and then on top of that, you wash it down. You walk out of the stadium there. You walk out of the complex and you go get a little nice little ice cream.
Yes.
Oh, can't forget that.
Xanos ice cream. I'll put the plug in for Xanos ice cream at Shipyard. Flavor of the month was s'mores.
Oh.
Knocked back a couple of those last couple weeks ago. Knocked back a few of those. Did not disappoint.
I think I saw Eddie come walking up, and I think he had more ice cream draped down his hand than he had still in the cup.
Forgot some napkins.
You can't do nothing about it. It's just part of the experience.
We got off track at some point. I'm not 100% sure if they forgot to give me the napkins or like I was just so excited to get to eating the ice cream that I forgot the napkins, but it got bad quick.
So the other enjoyment there is to watch the parent interaction on the youth side of the field.
Oh,
that breaks down. I mean, it's sometimes you get lost in the shuffle of all the surrounding interactions that are breaking out, and you got to really lock in on the games. But you get in those 10, 11, 12U games over there, you get some action.
So what's been on my mind recently is on the tournament side and doing the tournaments every single weekend is at what point do you stop playing music excessively loud for your kid's walk-up song? Because it happens 9s, 10s, 11s, 12s. Like, are you the parent that has to send in the group text, hey, guys, I think the boys are too old for walk-up music this year? Like,
but then it comes back.
At what point does that stop?
It does come back.
It does come back, but then you walk into a college game. You walk into a lot of high school games. You walk into every college. I don't care where you are. You walk into every college, right? They got the walk-up songs. Obviously in pro ball. Yeah, why is it that 13 to 15 age? I don't know. I can't.
I feel bad. I feel bad sometimes because we're sitting there playing high school level baseball. It's like a graveyard.
Yeah.
The 10-year-olds are over there playing, and it's like a party.
No doubt. 100%. You want to go to the party.
I would definitely. I wouldn't want to be the parent that sends that in the group chat. Like, hey guys, no walk-up songs this year. Talk about getting berated. Oh,
yes.
They would roast you in the group chat for not playing walk-up music for a 13-year-old kid.
Your son would be off the team.
Right.
No more.
There are some great uniforms on the youth side at Shipyard. Credit where it's due. Whoever's designing uniforms on the youth side for those Shipyard teams, solid.
Only the best.
There was one out there 2 weeks ago. It was neon green and also neon pink. Black jerseys, black jerseys, black pants.
Ooh.
Neon pink.
Can't miss them.
Electric.
That's what we call electric nowadays.
That's right.
Yeah, electric factory breaking out.
Oh, so let's hop into some picks here. Let's jump in. Eddie T is our guest picker of the week. I think 8-2 is the record that you got to have to take control of the guest picker list. I think 7-3 with Sean Smith. Sammy wins week 3. It came the first ever week that it's ever come down to a tiebreaker. You and Austin tied.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you and Austin tied, and you got to win with the tiebreaker.
Hey, winners win.
Low,
you know what I mean?
Austin went high. So
winners win.
Sammy gets his first win of the year.
I finally told you I was going to lock in this time and try not to just pick upsets left and right. But we'll see if I can back it up. I don't know. Let me even see. What was the tiebreaker again? I can't even remember.
It was South Carolina, Georgia.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody thought it was going to be a big, massive blowout barn burner.
Some of us also thought the Gamecocks were going to win.
Some did, some didn't.
Poor Lever, I don't even think he finished with a winning record and all those great picks he made.
Well, it was fun having him on.
Why? Off he goes.
Into the sunset. At least he had a waffle truck. I mean, he got to win with that.
That's hard to beat. So we'll see if Eddie T can take it this week. So we'll hop right in here. Oklahoma travels to Cincinnati. Eddie, you'll go after Sammy here. I'll go first, and Sammy, then Eddie. Then I'll announce Austin's family's picks. Oklahoma goes to Cincinnati. Cincinnati 14-point underdogs. I think the Sooners are rolling at the right time. I don't know how good they are. Doesn't seem like they've played some great teams so far. But Boomer Sooner, give me the Sooners.
Yeah, I'm with you. A couple of weeks ago, I kind of went against Cincinnati. Didn't think they'd have a chance, obviously, in the Big 12. Now, I do think that the Sooners, they look to have some things figured out. Defense is playing better and scoring a bunch of points. So I'm a Boomer Sooner. Let's roll.
I'll also go with the Sooners. Defense wins on the road, so Sooners.
And they got a heck of a defensive coach, right? Yeah.
Heard that before.
Yeah. Well,
Coach, you don't need to say no more down there. You're done. And we moved to Austin's family is rolling with the Sooners too. So clean sweep across the board there for the Boomer Sooner. So second pick, you got Auburn at A&M. A&M 8.5-point favorites. I feel like this is like a disappointment game. Both teams have not been good lately. A&M with the road loss to Miami. Auburn is just bad. But with that being said, give me the Aggies. Gig 'em.
I was looking at this, and in years past, you're like, let's go, great game. Auburn's got this, got that. I don't even know who is on Auburn's team anymore. A&M, I think more about them because everybody blasts Jimbo down there. So you hear more things about, I guess, Neon Dion's going over there. So you hear more about that. But just because I'm going to take the home team, I'm going to go gig 'em as well, just because that thing's in College Station and them 100,000 people are going to be swaying out there. So Texas A&M for the win.
I will stay in line with you guys. We will go gig 'em as well.
Look at that. The first two picks we make are clean sweeps as Austin's family is going to take the Aggies as well. Ruh-roh. But I got to feel like some things are going to change here. Ole Miss travels to Alabama. Alabama 6.5-point favorites. Alabama has an issue. They don't have a quarterback. Not playing well right now. And I think it's time. I think the Rebels win.
So is that your pick?
That's my pick. Ole Miss.
You locked in? Okay. Kiffin, offensive genius. Offense hadn't been scoring too much for the Rebs this year. They're battling new quarterback stuff like everybody in college football. Alabama, right? They've played 3 quarterbacks already. Is that right?
Yeah.
This year. But the one thing that Alabama has going for him, this little guy called Nick Saban, and he doesn't lose back-to-back games too often. If this would have been last year's Ole Miss team, hands down, Ole Miss wins. But Ole Miss looks like it's been lacking some offensive explosion as well. So I'm looking for Alabama to whip up on the Rebs. I love some Coach Kiffin, but I think Alabama starts to figure it out. Just when everybody wants to jump on there and say Saban's done, it's passed him by. He ain't doing it. Here it comes. Don't worry about it. I saw a stat that they said last time this same boat. Everybody thought he was done. He didn't have a quarterback. Didn't have this. Lost the game. They played for a national championship that year. So I'm not off his bandwagon yet.
I will go with the Rebels on this one. We've got a really high-powered offense against a traditionally good defensive team that has not been as solid this year. Last year, it was only a one-score game, I think, if memory serves me right. I think it was like 30-21, 30-24, something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm taking the Rebs in that offense. Ole Miss, let's go.
Look at the Rebs. Coach, you lost because Austin's family took Alabama as well. So, you riding with Austin on this one. Hey, who knows though? UCLA travels to Utah. Utah 6-point favorites. I don't even know if Utah's getting a quarterback back. It feels like he's been out forever. But I feel like the Utes are too good. UCLA with Chip Kelly. Not so sure about them, but give me the Utes.
The Utes have been – we've talked about them before not having a quarterback, but yet they still find ways to score and win. Chip Kelly, I guess everybody's waiting for him to come back to his days of Oregon, right?
Yeah.
And I'm kind of feeling it right now, right? They're 3-0 at Utah. UCLA Bruins for the win. Go 4-0, and they'll blow it the next week. They're going to win this week.
I like that one. I'm going to have to go with Utah, though.
Not so fast.
Although this is definitely an over game, though. I think they score a ton of points in this game.
That's a strong prediction for all you listeners out there going to the bank today. Utah is Austin's family's pick. So, Coach, rolling with the Bruins here, the only one.
Coach, I mean, they beat North Carolina Central last week.
That's a great win.
Exactly. And they're rested. They're fresh. Their guys played like a half.
Well, hell, they've been rested all year. They played Coastal before that.
Yeah, so they got two Carolina teams to travel across the country.
That's called great scheduling.
I mean,
great scheduling.
Imagine being North Carolina Central. Hey, Coach.
Yeah.
What you think about a home and home? We'll come to you guys in 23. You guys want to come over to North Carolina in 24?
Yeah.
Hey.
I'm for the win. Here we go.
Watch out. Prime time, and the Buffaloes travel to Oregon. Oregon 21-point favorites. Interesting fact, the game is actually played at, I believe, 10 a.m. In Oregon. I would not want to tailgate for that game. But anyway, Colorado's been good. Travis Hunter's out. I think the offensive line is bad. Oregon's front seven is good. Give me the Ducks.
Coach, as you know, I'm about as on the bandwagon of primetime as anybody out there. And I've been on the bandwagon before he ever got to Colorado. You can't even buy his dang sunglasses anymore. What do you sell? $1.2 million worth of prime.
I think it's more than that now.
The other day, I mean, like, I was all in. I went to go buy them, and I couldn't get them until like middle of December. But I do think they got a lot of goodness. I think they're going in the right direction. I don't think they get these next 2 weeks are going to be tough. They got to go to Oregon, 3:30 kick, so it'll be noon there. I still go the Ducks on this one. I do think it'll be close because I think Colorado can score, but Ducks for the win.
I will also go with the Ducks. I think that Colorado is moving in the right direction. I just don't think that it's going to get done at this level. I think he gets one of these two done. One of the next two. I think he gets one of these next two done. I just don't think it's Oregon. I think he's got a better shot against Southern Cal next week.
Coach is gonna say, do not play my theme music. He's not rolling with the Buffs this week. And neither is Austin's family. So there's a clean sweep for the Ducks. So watch out. If you got some money, put it on the Buffs because clean sweep with the Ducks here.
Hey, if you guys got a little Amazon Prime out there, watch Coach Prime, by the way. His last year at Jackson State. It's some good stuff, right? Right? The knock on him, he ain't never coached nothing. He's never done that. He's just – you can go watch that thing. He's as much of a coach as there is out there, and he gets in them guys and loves on them. But it was fun to watch watch what they got rolling out there in Colorado.
You think he's got NFL aspirations?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
I think he loves coaching the college kids. that pro stuff is different.
It is.
He has all the swag, he has all the coolness, but he coaches like he's a college coach.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he enjoys that recruiting process. I think he enjoys the people, right? You watch the process, you watch what he does and knows those kids. The NFL, you're not. It's a business. You get to know them, but that's not what's making those guys tick. And I don't know. I might be wrong. He looks to me like he's a college guy. That
I think he'll have a pick of whatever job he wants.
100%.
In the next 2 or 3 years, I think he'll have the choice to go wherever he wants to, NFL, college, wherever. So,
no doubt. I think if he sticks, I think if he sticks in college, I mean, obviously he's 55, 56 years old, whatever he is. If he has a chance to stick and do it for 10, 15 more years in college, I think he can have a chance in that brief period of time to go down to one of the better college coaches ever with it.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
Hey, we'll see. Their counterpart, Oregon State, travels to Washington State. Oregon State's been okay so far. But I think DJ Uiagalelei is going to play a better defense here. And the Cougs are going to win. Washington State.
I'm tired of you picking all these West Coast schools on here for these games because I don't outside of like Colorado, I don't really know what's going on much out there. But I'm going DJU. I'm going to Oregon State. I think he caught a bad rap over here in these parts. I think he's figuring out against some little different opponents. Got a new start. I think he's going to light it up there in Pullman. So Oregon State for the win.
I like Uiagalelei too. I mean, I think they play decent defense. I think that Oregon State's the pick here. I think DJ does just enough to get them by, and they play just enough defense to win it.
Well, I'll be the lone wolf here. Austin's family is rolling with Oregon State too. So, hey, Cougs, in honor of Mike Leach, are going to win this game. See, you like that tidbit right there. Big game here as the Ohio State University travels to the Fighting Irish in Notre Dame. I think Ohio. I don't really know if Ohio State can score against a really good team. I hadn't seen them play a really good team. I think the Irish have a really good quarterback and seem to be clicking at the right time as they whipped up on coaches Wolfies. And you know what? The Irish, hold on. The Irish are the underdogs here by 3 points. I think the Irish win and win by 10.
Ooh, win by 10, huh? Wow.
Get in.
Yeah, I mean, bold move going out there.
Bold move, Cotton.
Bold move, Cotton. Ohio State, tough to bet against, right? They're breaking in a new quarterback, almost like everybody in the country is doing this year. Things going to be rocking up there in South Bend. I'm with you. I'm going Notre Dame for the win. I think they're kind of more – they got more things in place that are set up to roll, where Ohio State's kind of been doing it against some inferior opponents with just better athletes overall. I mean, Notre Dame, I think they got a better team. I think they're going to win, and it's at home.
For sure. I mean, I agree. I'm going Notre Dame as well. I mean, I just like the way the team is put together. I like the offense. I think really and truly it's probably a coin flip game, but we'll go with the home team, take the Irish.
You might want to change your picks because Austin's family is rolling with the Irish too. A clean sweep for the Irish. So there's some big picks there. Then you travel. We're going to stay in the Big Ten here. Iowa travels to Penn State. Penn State 15-point favorites. Iowa can play defense, but Penn State is going to beat them.
This will be a barn burner, right? I mean, Penn State will be packed in there, and it'll be a great atmosphere, and it'll be like 3-0 at halftime. But I'm going the Nittany Lions. Penn State will, I think, runs away with it late.
Yeah, I'm going Penn State as well. I actually think they cover.
I like that. Hey, Iowa coach, remember the offensive coordinator's got to score those 17 points a game, coach. Loses that job. So, hey, whatever the line
is it like on the spot or is it the average?
He's got an average, but I think they're like right at it right now, so he needs to keep doing it.
Could you imagine that last game? Like, does the bowl game count?
I don't know, but imagine him being at 16.9.
Could you imagine the pressure? The pressure of the last game. Every play is like a Hail Mary. We're going deep, boys. We're going. We're chunking it. We got to score here. I don't care if we win. We're scoring.
Coach, do they round up if you're at 16.9?
Well, it depends on what the contract says.
We're going to round up.
I mean, it's
we just needed one more point the rest of the year. Damn, I should have kicked that field goal. We move on here. Mississippi State travels to South Carolina. Mississippi State was throttled by the Tigers last week for LSU. I took the Gamecocks to beat Georgia. They showed well for first half. Didn't have enough in the tank for second half. The Gamecocks are 6-point favorites. Gamecocks win, but do not cover.
I think the Chickens win. I think the Chickens got – this is a big game for them, right? They've played a couple tough opponents. You know, where are they going to go? It's a big week for them. I think they're starting to figure some things out. Defensively looked a lot better last weekend, right? Even though I know Georgia came out, had a big third quarter, but still they did some things in that defensive line that good. I think Rattler's going to light them up and throw for a bunch of yards, and I think the Chickens put up a bunch of points, and it'll be rocking in Columbia on Saturday. So big win for the Chickens.
I agree. I think this is the game. The offense will make some big plays, score a lot of points. I'm going with the Gamecocks.
Austin's family's rolling with the Gamecocks too. So clean sweep for the Cocks there. Then we move to game 10, last game on here. The Florida State Seminoles travel to Death Valley to take on the Clemson Tigers. I had already filled this one out in the graphic, but I think I'm going to change my pick. But I hadn't decided. This is a tough game. If you go back, the first 6 quarters for the Tigers were really bad. Of course, they played nobody with Charleston Southern or Florida Atlantic there. But a lot of first downs, even in the Duke game, can't score. I think for some odd reason, Clemson puts it together for this game. And the Tigers win by a field goal. We don't know who's going to kick the field goal. Tigers win by a field goal, though. I just think somehow it comes together because if the Tigers don't win by 3, they'll lose by 50. So Tigers win by 3.
You know, this is a big one, obviously, across the country in the ACC. You know, it's kind of a little bit, and I'm not saying they're the same, but it's a little bit like everybody's down on Nick Saban, right? Everybody instantly thinks Dabo can't coach anymore. You know, the guy kind of revitalized the program, took them to the top, whatever. They haven't had the last couple of years, but, you know, fans are fans. What I had somebody tell me one time, we're based off of called being fanatics. So we're unrealistic human beings, right? So Clemson is not up to the par of what some fans have thought, a couple of years ago, 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, you know, with NFL talent running all over the place, but they're still a very talented football team, right? Like, let's not forget that. They might not have like 4 wide receivers out there running around that are going to be future NFLers, but they got really good players. I think everybody's been so down on them, and everybody's wanting to jump on that Florida State bandwagon just because they're wanting, right? They're wanting to change in the guard a little bit, right? Everybody gets tired of Clemson. Florida State's coming in there, the hot pick. Everybody thinks Florida State's going to beat them by 21. And you know what? Drew knows about a week ago I was saying the same thing, but Tigers by 10. Tigers by 10.
Oh, boom. God. Tigers are going to lose now.
I'm going to go Seminoles here, boys.
Oh, quick pick.
Going with the Seminoles here. Norville, I think Florida State, the resurgence of Florida State is happening before our eyes.
I feel like I've heard that too many times.
Well, you probably heard it. With our guy from Texas A&M, Jimbo, and then he just basically set the whole place on fire and left. So, but hey, Florida State, the resurgence is happening before our eyes. Florida State.
In the past 8 years, Florida State is 500 in the ACC. In the last
Doesn't
8
surprise
years.
me.
That's
since the national. That's since the national title, right? That's since the the Jameis Winston to Kelvin Benjamin national title.
Yeah, 500 in a subpar league.
Yes, it's not been. It had a tough one last week with Boston College, but that's you travel to a stadium full of 3,000 people. Stuff happens.
Is that your excuse for why the Tigers lost opening weekend?
No, did that come out of my mouth even after the game?
I didn't know if you were making an assumption.
No, I was not making an assumption. Austin's family is rolling with the Seminoles as well, so me and Samuel stick together on this one. So we'll hop into the tiebreaker here, which I don't even know the over under on this game. I'm gonna guess.
What are we on? What game is it?
This is the Tigers.
Sorry, I got it right here.
Over under is 55. Austin is going with 56. I somehow think the Tigers, this is going to be weird. 45. Tigers win 24-21.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow. I'm going shootout. I'm going shootout. The Tigers are feeling themselves, right? They've lit up a couple bad teams. Halftime in Death Valley 2 weeks ago, I think everybody was ready to jump off the top of the stadium over there, but then they figured it out against a tough team at Charleston Southern.
Right.
Then they got it rolling last week. I'm going over. I'm going 62.
Woo!
That's a good one. That's what it was last year, wasn't it? It was 30, 34, 28, 34.
Yeah, it was something like that.
So, I think it's going to be right on there. I think it's going to be right around here. So, do I go under Coach or do I go like one over him? 63.
Tough decision.
I do think it's going to be a shootout here, and let's do it. We're going 63, 40-23 Seminoles.
Hey, interesting fact. 82% of the bettors in Vegas have betted on the under. So you are the 18% for the over. So hey,
if me and Coach Eddie here are right, we're maybe moving to Vegas. You know what I mean?
That's right. We're going to change the line. We're going to
you're the 8th. You're going to change the line.
We're single-handedly changing the line.
He's making it go from 55 to 55.5 today.
You're going to see a GameStop type shift in the line of the Florida State game because what Coach and I just did.
The amount of money right now, as soon as this gets leaked, as soon as it gets released, this should be the teaser so people can immediately start calling their bookies.
Tickets are flying in for the over right now.
MGM right now can't answer enough.
Tisdale and Esposito had the over. They must know something.
Oh gosh. Well, hey, we're gonna wrap this one up. Episode 58 will be recorded at some point next week as we got 2 scout days obviously going on. So we will keep you updated with that, and we'll have that pick 'em week 5 already at week 5 here coming up next week. We will have a guest picker. We'll figure out who that is when we get there. Eddie T, we appreciate you.
Always a pleasure, boys. We look forward to seeing y'all out at the field somewhere. Hey,
not Austin, but you might see us. So we'll end on that good note. So from all of us here at PBR South Carolina, have a great week.